Would you rather be known for overcoming your struggles or known for finding joy in the present moment?
If I have to answer in 2.5 seconds, I would rather be known for overcoming my struggles.
Would I rather have lived a challenging life and gained wisdom from it, or have had an easy life but feel unfulfilled? Well, I'm going to have to go with lived a challenging life and gained wisdom from it. Would you rather have a low-paying job with kind workers or a high-paying job with a toxic work environment?
I want that high-paying job, and I'll be there for a year, and then I'm a dip.
Would I rather deal with a nosy neighbor in an affordable apartment or live in peace but pay twice as much in rent? Girl, I would pay twice as much, and I do.
I get it. You value your peace.
Would you rather have fewer possessions but deeper relationships, or endless material wealth without meaningful connections?
Fewer possessions with deeper relationships, period.
Would I rather have the ability to forgive myself easily or to never hold grudges against others? When people hold grudges, who can label it a grudge?
That's good.
So I would definitely rather the ability to forgive myself easily. And I do, thank God, I do. Okay, would you have rather grown up poor in a functional family or wealthy but with parents who neglected you? Wow, this is yeah. So I grew up poor, but I grew up in a dysfunctional family. I would say I wasn't purposely neglected, but because of the dysfunction, I was neglected. Um, but I would not want to be wealthy and then have parents who like intentionally neglected me.
Neglect you.
Because my parents loved me. They just had issues. You see,
Right.
it's the difference. My parents did love me. Yes, there were issues and things that caused neglect, but they were not intentionally neglecting me. They were not selfish. They were not like, they just had issues.
Right.
So grow up wealthy and have parents who neglect you. Nah, because a lot of the people that I've heard of that have grown up wealthy and had parents who neglect them, they end up on meth. I mean, I'm just saying they either end up on meth or they end up on some type of hard drug, heroin. Rich kids do rich drugs. They rich kids, and I'm not saying meth is a rich drug, but I'm just saying rich kids have access to money. And if their parents are neglecting them, right, but they got money, what they gonna do? A lot of rich kids have been emotionally neglected by their parents because their parents are off vacationing or working or whatever, and they end up being drug addicts and in rehabs, long-term facilities. It's sad. I was just reading in the news like last month, Rosie O'Donnell's daughter is on meth and actually lost custody of her child.
She played on a TV show, right?
She's an actress, but she also used to have her own talk show. But she had adopted a child. I don't know if she adopted more than one. I can't remember, but this child was adopted. And I remember when she adopted the baby, it was just like, oh, because Rosie's LGBTQ,
That's who I thought, I was wondering if I was thinking about the right person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, isn't she a part of that community? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I can't remember if she was married when she adopted or if she adopted as a single mom, but that child is now an adult and has a baby of their own, and she's on meth. and recently they found the baby in the house, with like deplorable conditions. Yes.
Oh,
And it's just like, wow, how does that happen? How does that happen? And we don't know. I don't know. I'm sure she has a story to tell. I would love to, at some point, I'm sure hopefully, she's able to recover and get clean and be able to share her story. I would love to hear what her journey has looked like and how she got to that point. But
right.
it's sad because even your parent is a celebrity. And how does that happen? You have the wealth.
Angie, when you are a child, those are the most sensitive years of your life. And they can truly, it's so important. And those are the most sensitive years of your life that it can really affect your adulthood, as you've mentioned. So I was listening to a podcast and I remember a therapist saying, I think, I don't remember the exact word verbatim, what she said, but her point was therapy needs to start as young as elementary or middle school, because if these kids aren't knowing the proper way to process neglect from their
Mhm.
parents or any type of emotional trauma
Or abuse.
or abuse, sexually, emotionally, any type of abuse there, whew, it's hard to reverse that in your adulthood. Not saying it's impossible, but I have talked to a man who suffered sexual abuse and it affects him. He's in his 50s
Wow.
and it still affects him just by like his childhood. Is so real.
Yeah, there's a thing called adverse childhood experiences, ACEs. I actually want to do some further research into it. I found out about it probably about it's probably been about I want to say at least 10 years. Now
Mhm.
ACE has probably been out longer than that. They've been doing research on it, but for me to discover it, knowing my background, I was just like, again, knowledge is power, words are
Right.
power. When you can put a name to an experience, it's like, okay. So when I found out about ACEs, I was like, okay, I'm glad to know that people are researching, children who have had adverse experiences. I want to delve deeper into it because it helps me understand my own behaviors, throughout my life. But not
Right.
only that, just as I continue to advocate, you know how I am, I'm advocating for our community, advocating for mental health. I want to be equipped to be able to not just use my own lived experience, but also have the actual, evidence based research to be able to speak to how this shows up, in an adult's life if they've experienced that. But ACEs is a real thing, like, and there's been studies done. So I again, and I plan on using this platform to share that information. It's adverse childhood experiences. So they, for short, they call it ACEs. In the medical field, they call it ACEs, but it's ACE and then S. The S is not an acronym, part of the acronym. It's just plural for experiences.
Oh, I didn't even know that's what it stood for.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's really deep. It's the same as like CPTSD, complex post traumatic stress disorder. Similar, people who've had childhood trauma. A lot of people suffer from CPTSD. Um, it's a lot of research that's been done, and when I think about, I'm like, these people are researching the things that I've been through in my childhood. Oh my gosh, like it warms my heart, Candace. It really does, to know that people actually, in the healthcare field, even if they're not of our community, it always warms my heart when I stumble upon research that is talking about the things that we experience, because it means somebody cares.
Mhm.
Somebody actually cared enough to take the time to research. And I just like, wow, because I can share my story all day long. I can share my lived experience all day long. But when you actually are you're studying, you're asking questions, you're trying to figure it out. I love that. So I'm just like, wow. Yes, yes.
We
So
talking about gratitude and thankfulness.
yes,
Thank
yes,
you to the researchers.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's ongoing. Like the research with ACEs is still ongoing. Shoot, if there's any way, because again, I always say this, I don't know if I'm destined to be in a clinical field. I don't really want to be a clinician. I don't. I don't really want to be a doctor. I don't want to go back to school. I really don't. Heck, I'm trying to pay off these student loans now. I don't really want to, but I truly do have a passion for healthcare, and I just care. I love caring for people. So it only makes sense.
We need more thorough people like Angie.
We're going to pray on it, sis. We're going to pray on that. And if it's meant for me to go back to school and be a doctor, then it'll be. But if I don't, I will be a researcher and or just an advocate and or some type of a liaison between the clinical side and the community.
Right.
You know, but yeah, these are topics that I'm very passionate about because they're relative to my upbringing, how
Right.
I became the person I am today, and there's so many more people out here that have experienced them. They have no idea what an ACEs is. They don't even know the research exists, right?
Because I sure didn't know what I have. I was like, let me Google this because I
Hmm.
don't know what you're talking about right now. And
And
I
when we
just,
edit, I'm sorry, when we edit, we can definitely put that up on.
yes, because I'm like, girl, I'm seeing the stats here. ACEs are common. About 64% of adults in the U.S. reported they have had experienced at least one type of ACE before age 18.
Candace, I've experienced at least like 7 or 8 of them. And they say if you've experienced over a certain number, it's like, I can't remember what they said, but it's, yeah, that basically is bad. I think I've experienced like 8 or 9. I'm just gonna be honest. Like there's actually a actual evaluation and assessment, an ACEs assessment. And they'll be like, "Have you experienced this? Have you?" I literally like 8 or 9 of them. Hmm. Yep. Yep. Yes. So I'm thankful that I'm still here. That I'm still here because,
Me too.
and we don't even, that's what I'm saying. The things that we go through, we don't even realize, just how traumatizing and how it's not normal. It shouldn't be the norm, but in our community there are so many within the Black community who also have experienced ACEs, a lot of ACEs, a lot. So yeah, we're gonna keep on talking about it. We're gonna keep on raising awareness, keep on talking about it until until our community, until we care enough, until we care enough about ourselves to do something about to change the things that are creating these ACEs within our community. There's definitely external factors, but at the same time, there are also things that we can do within our community to change them too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where people like us, that's where we come in. This podcast, this
Right.
is part of the change, educating,
Right.
informing, and educating. Yep. That's it. This. All right, we're gonna spin again.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna spin again because we still got 3 more questions now. We still got 3 additional questions aside from this.
Oh, we do.
Mhm.
Look, I'm down. Is it my turn? Look. I'm like, if
It
it's your turn, we can go.
is your turn, sis. All right, here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh. Oh, sis.
Here we go.
Would you rather have weight issues that you can work on, or a chronic illness like sickle cell that is out of your control. Mm, that make you think, huh? It make you think like it's somebody out there that can't do something about. You know what I mean? Really make you think.
And out of the 30 questions it could have landed on,
Wow.
it lands on a question that I really struggle with. My whole platform is pretty much about this topic, of losing weight. Everything happens for a reason, huh? But to answer this question, I let me go back. Have weight issues you can work on, or a chronic illness. I will take having the weight issues that I can work on, because because I can work on it, and it just sucks to say that. It really it sucks to say that out loud, because like you said,
Excuse me.
many people are really dealing with diseases that they have no control over. Uh,
That video I sent you earlier today.
exactly. And I find it very amazing how many people that I have seen on YouTube that are going through chronic illnesses, is something about their attitudes that seem to be so much better than the person suffering from something that they do have control over. What is that? Have you seen the channel? It's called SBSK.
Mm-mm.
It's
It's on
channel.
TikTok.
It's on YouTube, and
Oh,
I'm about to say, let you know what it's called. Special Books by Special Kids. It is a beautiful platform on YouTube. The host of this channel, he goes and interviews um, people with disabilities, people that can't really control things that they're dealing with in their lives. And many of the people that he has interviewed have the most positive attitude. They are the most accepting people. And I love his platform. I love his platform. SBSK, Special Books by Special Kids.
I just subscribed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful platform,
Wow.
because he is opening up a community of people to be seen.
Represent.
He's represented, heard, understood, and it's so,
They got so much value to add to this world.
that's
Like,
it.
like they are so needed in this world.
Hmm.
I love that. I love that. Oh, I just subscribed, girl. I cannot wait to look at it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. This this question here definitely I mean, it really brings things into perspective, like wow, you really do have, you're blessed. You're blessed to have so much control over this issue, because there's somebody else out there who doesn't have that choice. They cannot moderate how they live or how they manage. They just have to take it day by day and pray and, you know, rely on, of course, have faith in God, but also have to rely on medication and the doctors. Whereas with weight loss, there's some things that you can do every single day you have within your control. Yep. Wow. Whew. Speaking of which, I gotta get back to the gym, sis. I do. Shout
Hmm.
out to you. I'm proud of you for going to the gym, sis. You said you was in the gym the other day. What did I thought you was at the airport. You said you was at the gym. I'm like, what? You better. Yes.
No, I
That's a
have
that's
no
a huge
excuse.
step. I
I
mean,
have no
sis,
excuse. I have no excuse, Angie. I have no excuse. No, it was years ago. In 2022, I was a lot fitter than where I am now. And I just let myself eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And I used to be working out at 6 a.m. almost every day
yeah.
when I was 80 pounds lighter. That was the lifestyle. So if
Let
I
me
did that, then
let me ask you this though, because you said something that struck a chord with me when you said you were eating everything you wanted to. Because I know that feeling. Because we be feeling like we missing out when we're watching what we eat. We feel it. Let me ask you, like, now that you've gotten to eat all that you've wanted to eat, do
it
you
still doesn't fill the void.
know?
It's an addiction.
Okay,
It does not fill the void. And I'm
I.
happy you asked that.
Mhm.
I get how people become 600 pounds, Angie.
And then the
Like,
stuff that they put in the food too,
yes,
because that you can't you just yeah, yeah. Who was we watching? I seen something the other day. Halle Berry. I seen an interview. I didn't. I think I heard that she was diabetic before, but I forgot. And I just seen an interview with her recently, and she mentioned it. And I'm like, dang, I forgot that she was diabetic. So she has type 1 diabetes, which she literally was like, because they were like, well, how do you look so good? How do you, maintain your health and everything? She's like, I'm diabetic and I don't touch sugar. She's like, that's poison. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I didn't know Halle Berry was a diabetic.
She's type 1. She said she's been diagnosed diabetic ever since she was like young. Yes. Living with diabetes. Yes. So that means she has to, insulin. Yes. That's tough. Type 1 and type any kind of, type 1 or type 2 is tough, right? Having to monitor that. But she literally says sugar is poison. And when she said that, I was like, whoa. Could you imagine if we just eliminated the sugar out of our diet? That alone, we would lose weight. That alone. That alone. And I'm not one that just, I don't eat a lot of sweets. I don't just, I'm not big on a lot of sweets. But the things that they put in those, you know, what they say in the grocery store, everything that's in the middle aisles,
You want to avoid.
processed food, got sugars in there. Yeah. When she said sugar was poison, I'm like, oh, yeah. Because I use Splenda in my coffee, but my creamer has sugar in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, yep. Do you know last year on Thanksgiving my cat passed away, girl? It's gonna be
Oh,
a year. I mean, it was
Annie.
last year. Yep, November 22nd. Thanksgiving was on November 22nd last year, and that was when he passed. So it's just like wow, it's been a whole year. Just thought about him. Just thinking about now every Thanksgiving, I'm probably gonna think about Hammy, but
Think
yeah.
about Hammy. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Golly.
Mhm. I miss him. But yeah. Yep. And we would have went home. We would have went home for Thanksgiving, but Michaela, she got her wisdom teeth pulled, so won't be going home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, girl.
So, well, we're gonna actually wrap up our Will of Gratitude segment. We actually have a couple other questions that we want to just go ahead and engage with the audience. So, those of you who are watching this, if you want to drop your answers or comments in the comments section, we would love to hear your thoughts on these questions. So, the first question is, what is one thing you're grateful for that you often take for granted? Um, I'll start. Let me think. One thing that I am grateful for that I often take for granted, like often. Man, this is a little tough. Let
I
me think
know.
about this one. Often take for granted. You know what? The ability to work from home. I am very grateful. I do not miss having to commute to and from work. And yeah, I think sometimes I take it for granted because, my wardrobe consists of yoga pants and comfy, joggers and t-shirts, unless I have, a meeting where I'm presenting, then it's going to be joggers and like a business casual top or blazer.
Yes.
But yeah, some thick, cozy socks. I'm very grateful for that. What about you, Candace?
The one thing, mm, mm. Oh, there's so many.
So something that you just do every day that you don't even think about, that you just take for granted, that if you didn't have it, you'd be like, whoa, I really took that for granted.
I'm going to have to go with flying. The
Yeah.
existence of airplanes.
Ooh, yeah.
It amazes me every time I get in one. It still doesn't make sense how we are human beings and we're literally flying 30,000 feet above ground.
That's a good one, sis. That's a real
That
good one.
Angie, when I say sometimes whenever I get on a plane, I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute now, Candace. Wait a minute now. Because you could have drove 11 hours.
Like, do you
So
really have to do this?
look. Like I be in TSA getting my bags checked, and the negative part of me wants to be like, oh my gosh, sick of waiting. Why? I gotta take off my shoes. Why? Like,
Right.
no,
Especially
no.
in Atlanta, girl. Atlanta
Yeah,
is worst.
they
Okay.
don't play in Atlanta.
No, they
Laptops
yes,
out.
they aggressive as
Yes. Laptops out. Suitcase separate. Phones in the bin. Take your tablets out.
they don't play.
They
Mm-mm.
don't play. Shoes off.
People that ain't from here or ain't never been through our airport, they be traumatized after that TSA
Oh
experience.
yeah. Mm-mm.
Like, what? They yelled at me.
They like
They
right.
don't smell me. And then you go somewhere else and the TSA be all nice.
Chill, laid back.
Yep.
Oh, I don't gotta take my shoes. Wait, the laptop doesn't have to come out. Okay.
Right, right. Atlanta be doing the most. What about y'all, purposeful family? What's one thing that you're grateful for that you often take for granted? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. All right, next question we have is, what moment in your life made you realize how much you appreciate what you have? Wow, I've had many of them. Um, I'm gonna say, whew, the most recent one, I have to say, man, just 2 years ago, Candace, I lost my job. At the height of my career, after getting my master's degree, and it made me realize I was grateful that at that time when that happened that I had savings, I had good credit, I had a car, I had, you know, even though, of course your insurance, you have to do the Cobra, I did not opt for that, but I was healthy, thank God. I had money to be able to, if I needed to go to urgent care, to be able to pay out of pocket. I had a car to be able to drive Lyft, to be able to continue to make money while I look for another job. So that was one moment I appreciated everything I had. Yeah. What about you?
Oh, that was good. Um,
I maxed out them credit cards though, still paying them back. But anyway.
look, but you still made it. Look, you still pushed
Mhm.
through. A moment in life that made me realize. Okay, wait. What moment in your life made you realize how much you appreciate what you have? For some reason, I think about so in me traveling a lot, I do have to eat out a lot, right?
Mhm.
So the food isn't quite as fresh as it could be. And I just think about my dad in his garden.
Girl, I know that's right.
Growing up, I really don't remember ever. I don't have too many friends that could say they grew up having a garden in their backyard. I
Mhm.
mean, literally, I'm very grateful to have seen it so normal in my life to the point
Mhm.
where I almost was sick and tired of always having greens and cornbread, but it's
Oh.
something magical about being able to eat the food that you grow. I took it, even Oprah talked about it in her book, What I Know for Sure. And I can relate to that so much. And it's just a magical experience to be able to see a small little seed grow into something that can literally nourish your body. It's amazing.
Wow. That is. That is. I hope to be able to experience that someday. I don't have a green thumb, but I would
You
love to someday.
you do, Angie. Just put the seed in the pot and you'll be good.
Girl, I done tried. I can do herbs. I can do little herbs. I do. I have done that, but yeah, yeah. Someday, that's the plan. Get some land, and yeah. If I don't do a farm, which that would ultimately, I would love to be able to. I wouldn't want to have a full like farm, for like you know commercial, but for just for my own,
Yes.
family.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But yeah. Ah, yes. The purposeful family, let us know what moment in your life made you realize how much you appreciate what you have. We would love to know. Drop them comments. All right, y'all. This is the last one, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up because I know y'all are smelling all that good food. There's probably some greens cooking right now on the stove. Oh my goodness. Whew. Let's see what we got. All right. If you could send a message of gratitude to one person, who would it be and why? Now, this one, so many people, um, there's so many people I can think of, so many people I can think of that are here and that are not here. Um, And I tend to gravitate towards those who are not here. Um, but I do express gratitude to them almost daily. Some of them, honestly. So I'm thinking.
Oh no, you're good. As soon as I read this, I was like, "Yep, I know who I want to."
You know, I'm gonna actually say, Candace, I would send a message of gratitude to you. I would I would send a message. I mean, I know you're here, but I would say that, I mean, just looking back on this past year of, all that we've accomplished in 2024, and just how we met, just the amazing sisterhood and friendship and partnership, and the safe space, just you allowing me to just be me, and through all that I've been through this past year, and you've witnessed a lot. And just being consistent and being, again, a safe person in this world where it's very rare. I would say I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for all, that you've contributed to this podcast and this platform. And just, you just being you. You've definitely, I feel like you've given me the opportunity to be the big sister that I've always wanted to be. And I'm grateful for that.
Angie, I'm about to have you out here crying.
That's my message of gratitude. I mean, I could say so much more. I could. I just this year went by really fast, but we really have accomplished a lot, and you're one of a kind. You truly are.
Thank you.
All right, now cut that out because I don't have anything to wipe my eyes. And I can't get up. My desk is on my lap. Oh my goodness. All right, Candace. If you could send a message of gratitude to one person, who would it be and why?
So first of all, Angie, I'm extremely no, I have to give you your flowers right back. I am extremely grateful for you. You came into my life at a time where I was freaking confused about myself. And you always found the way to reassure me that no, sis, you are amazing. Um, and the fact that you even like you seen something in me.
Girl.
It really like I'm so grateful. Yeah, I'm so grateful because girl, you yeah, you've seen me uh at a very low point. I mean, on the phone crying about a friendship loss. And you are always so open to listening. So, yeah, I always hear you say it's hard to come across good people, and you are definitely one of them. And I mean, when I say like I be scared sometimes because I'm like, I don't want another good person to walk away. um, so no, I have to hand you your flowers right back. Thank you for seeing value in me at a time when I didn't feel like I I was I was low at a time where I felt low. So thank you. Um, one person that I had in mind, um, if I could send a message of gratitude to one person, who would it be and why? When I read this, I instantly thought about one person who has passed away this year, and it was my high school health educational teacher, Dr. Frances Ferris. I wasn't able to go to her funeral, but I did attempt to go see her earlier in the year. just to thank her. Literally, me and my sister had flowers to give. I went into my high school, wasn't able to see her, but I sent her an email. And I did remember, I think I sent her a little message saying, "Hey, I was trying to come and see you." She was like, "I'm going to get right back at you and see if I can make something happen to where you could come in." And then months later, I found out she passed away. So I would tell her, thank you for seeing me. In high school, I did feel alone a lot of the times, but she definitely always made me feel like I was seen. She heard me, she listened to me. Dr. Frances Ferris, I want to say, planted a seed in me when it comes to self development. She actually gave me a book. Um, the title of the book was called the 7 highly effective habits of teenagers. It was the teenager version. It wasn't the one his dad wrote, but the one for teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually handed that book over to my sister, but she gave me that book, and it just opened a realm of like, whoa, I love this book. I need
Mm-hmm.
to read more. So she planted that seed in me, and I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for her. I just hate I wasn't able to give her flowers while she was actually here.
Wow. I do remember when she passed, and I remember you telling me that that day that was tough. That was really hard. And I remember you telling me that. But yes, may she continue to rest in peace and know that she definitely made an impact.
She did. She definitely did.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Well, Purposeful family, we're going to get ready to wrap this episode up. This was, wow, I'm like, whew, I'm full of gratitude right now. I really am. And there's so many, so many more things that I'm sure Candace and I, are both grateful for. First of all, we are grateful for those of you who currently are subscribed to our channel, who support, who have shared, who have liked. We are grateful for our past guests and future guests. And we just, ask that you all continue to support the channel. Excuse me, like and share, and continue to engage. We definitely do appreciate you, and we're definitely grateful for you all being along with us on this journey. Before we get out of here, Candace, did you have any final closing thoughts?
Yes. I'll just leave off with saying perspective is very important. It is so important to be positive and grateful for everything that you are and will go through. I'm sorry I keep referencing Oprah's book, but it's so fitting, Angie. So let me tell you once I'm gonna leave off with this. Oprah said she was talking to Maya Angelou one day, and she was in tears. She was in tears, crying, upset about something she doesn't even remember to this day. And Maya Angelou told her, "Oprah, say thank you. Say thank you." Oprah was like, "I don't even know why I need to say thank you." Maya Angelou says, "Say thank you, okay? Because you are going to be grateful for what this experience is going to teach you. It's going to help you grow. You don't even know. You don't even know, the positive things that are going to come from this. But please just say thank you." And Oprah was crying her eyes out. So I think that's something that each of us can take with us.
I love that. I love that. And that is so true. And I do remember Oprah saying that the easiest prayer, most simplest prayer you can ever say is just thank you. And yes, yeah. Candace, you pretty much you pretty
Oh,
much nailed it with that. I can't even. I'm like, you pretty much nailed it with that. I mean, because
girl.
in what you said, everybody's journey is different, but the highs, the lows, the adversity that we experience, like there is something to be grateful for in it all. And just as our episode was called, being thankful through it all, it is having that attitude of gratitude will really get you through anything. Just like right now, what we're experiencing, with this election and this incoming administration, many of us, myself included, I'm not, I'm not happy. Um, I'm not going to say that I'm afraid, but I'm concerned. Um, but I'm still thankful through it all. I'm thankful. There's a lot of beautiful things that are happening every single day. Um, with the community, the Black community, the 92 percenters, the women, the Black women, um, the just the community that's being built, um, the solidarity, the there is joy in the midst of this storm. And we just have to hold on to that and just continue to be thankful and express gratitude for the little things, and for the people that we have in our lives that do add value and show up for us and that see us. And so I just want to encourage each of you out there who are watching this to, take the moment, take the time, thank that person, give that person a call, who's there for you, who lets you know that you matter in your life. Um, this is, a time that we definitely want to support one another and show love. So let's see, is there anything else? Oh, we have, we're actually coming to the end of our season. We have two more episodes coming up. Our next episode is going to be on the topic of shame, so you don't want to miss out on that. We have two guests that will be joining us, so we'll be announcing that pretty soon. So stay tuned. If you have not hit that like button, please do that now. And if you haven't subscribed, do that. If you would like to be a guest, please be sure to visit prettypurposefulpodcast.com and complete our registration form. If we don't get you in, obviously, if we can't get you in this season, we would love to have you on for next season. Um, we're absolutely open to any suggestions you may have for any future topics. And other than that, this was a really great episode.
This was good. Oh, I knew it was gonna be good.
Yes, girl. It is okay to be pretty.
But even better to be
Pretty
pretty
purposeful.
purposeful.
Bye, everyone.